Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on IntellectualRadio.com/iHeartRadio station. I'm your host, Roman, and we have a terrific show planned for you today. Don't forget to stay tuned after the drive for Warriors Talk with my girl, Rochelle, at 6 p.m. Tonight, my guest is an insurance broker, life insurance, anything with insurance, he does it. Please give a welcome back to the Drive at 5 to Cedric Harding. Welcome back to the Drive, sir.
Hey, I am so excited to be back here. And definitely.
You got to come up to the mic. You know better.
Okay. Let me. That's where y'all can hear on my chest.
Yeah.
I'm up.
Right.
All right, but I am excited to be back on the Drive at 5 and have a chance to share some more great things that's going on in the city and just to talk.
Give us an update since the last time you was on the Drive at 5.
So since then, one thing that always happens when you move from one spot to another is just the things that you learn. So one of the things that I want to talk about is I decided to do a Legacy Smart Group library tour. So that is my business, Legacy Smart Group. I am a financial broker, right? I'm not an agent. I'm a broker. I work for several companies where I focus on I'm going to say this word, life insurance, but really retirement planning and building wealth. We know that we're going to pass away and things like that's going to happen, right? But I want to focus on the wealth part of this where you can grow money. We can probably reduce some of the things that's happening in our community if we understand how money works. Money does make the world go round and certain things. So that's where the library tour comes in. It's a neutral location in a community. I think everyone should take advantage of going back to the library, just like you go to the Waffle House in the South, right? The library is always the core of the community. So I think that was one key thing that I decided I wanted to do. Get information out. There's a lot of changes in the insurance industry too, as well. And one thing that has happened since we last talked was I bought a house and I started shopping for a house for just about 2 years. I was just searching. And during that process, which it is a major thing to have an asset like that. But I seen the individuals that were selling their homes were seniors. And one thing when we met the first time, he said, take care of them seniors. We had there was an event that you were putting together for seniors, and as I'm purchasing homes, there were a lot of seniors that um, had a reverse mortgage or they house was going into foreclosure. One gentleman, it kind of made me sad. He built the house from scratch for his wife. You can tell because when he walked in, it was hot pink, like Prince lived there, right? And Al Hood. But yeah, I got jokes, y'all. But as he sat there, usually when somebody's selling a house, they leave. This gentleman, he couldn't leave and he was just there. He says, is it okay? I said, it's just fine, sir. Your house is beautiful. I respect my elders. And I was wondering why. Why is he selling this house? Why are you moving at 92 years old? Wife passed away, hasn't paid any taxes or anything since she passed away for just about 5 years, and the family couldn't flip the bill to get get it back into a good status. And that just hurt. I really loved the house, but the bank was taking it away from him, and it was nothing. It should have never been on the market. So with that being said, another reason why doing a tour is trying to help individuals understand how to build wealth, maintain these bills, maintain their assets, and protect them. That's what it comes down to. And that's where I'm currently at in 2025. And it's going to take that a long time I want to reduce the time to get information to people to kind of do my best to help.
Where the library is located.
The libraries are located. We started the tour last week. So, Matson, Illinois. I keep saying Madison. Correct me every time. It's Madison. Chicago Heights, Chicago Heights is this Thursday. We're doing the Library on 95th and Halsted. That's going to be this upcoming Friday. Also, Maywood, Illinois, on Chicago's west side. I want to do something a little bit of everywhere. Try to be on west side, south side. I'm going to also be in Markham. So when you see the flyer, once that's posted, or you can go to my social media, Cedric Harding, you'll see the flyers. I got have doing my best to get those out there. We've already done Park Forest and Matson already, so it's just going to continue, and there's going to be a special one that popping up for anybody on May 29th. I'm going to bring in Miss Jamaica Davis and go back and teach another class on trust. How to, why have it, why you need it, why is it so important, and staying out of probate. So she's going to lead that because a lot of people have requested it.
When you look at the dangers, the red flags of people on the verge of losing their home or on a default status, the issue goes on and on. You mentioned a guy losing his home, the taxes. Are you finding out that the taxes are the main reason they're losing a home? Because some of the homes are paid out. They don't owe no mortgage, especially when you come to seniors. But it's just the taxes.
As a current homeowner and those that are looking to purchase a home, there's after I sign the paperwork, right? And they have a good party, big party and everything, and signing the papers. It's a big deal. And it didn't hit me until afterwards. And I looked at that paperwork. It's the I don't know how to say it, amortization paperwork. All my realtors don't beat me up. But when I looked at it, and I have it for 30 years, I'm gonna pay 3 times what the house was worth. So I never understood, and I'm not in a real estate industry. I'm not one of those professionals. But seeing that you pay 3 times what your house is worth because we don't find the tools to help pay the house off early. Then, right now, with today's economy, and I won't go into all the politics and things like that, a lot of people are working 2 jobs. A lot of our seniors can't afford today's economy prices compared to, in the late 90s. I was talking with my mom, and she said she was looking at a program. We were talking about a program, and she said to me, Cedric, they offered me something. It was $1,200. 1,200. The rest should be about $600 to $800. I said, where they do that at? Those are the old prices. You can't get anything for, most things are $2,000 nowadays. So taxes, rise in inflation is taking over and affecting us really bad.
I'm going to go on a tangent. So I'm warning you
I
with
set you
this.
up for it. It
Yeah,
was an
you
alley
did.
hoop, y'all.
You
You
did.
know it was coming.
I don't care what nobody says. It was not an inflation when Biden was in the office. The corporations was price gouging. Price gouging. Now, since the tariffs have been in place, now it's the beginning stages of an inflation. There's a difference. Inflation, when Biden was in there, food was still on a shelf.
Yes.
Now you go to, let's say, AutoZone. You don't see nothing on the shelf now. You see some antifreeze, but you can actually count on one hand now 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 shelves that are completely empty because the parts, are from China. The parts are from other um, countries.
This microphone probably from one of those countries.
Yeah, yeah, you're
It
probably
sound
right.
good too. Sound
Yeah,
good.
but however, when you look at what Illinois is doing, fix the our red like the mayor is doing, which I call him Mayor Mohawk, and it's me, it's not him that's saying it, it's me. I'm getting the pressure off you. He signed an executive order to come up with a committee to get him out of $1 billion+ deficit. You sign an executive order. And I know you're saying what this has to do insurance, but you put that tangent on you.
I built it up.
Yeah. On every single time since I've been on this earth in the state of Illinois, taxes, 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 taxes. We had Winkle did the George Bush read my lips, no new taxes, and she taxed every damn thing. She taxed cupcakes. And get mad at people when I mean you get what I'm saying. And seniors and homeowners are tapped out. I'm one of them. I'm tapped out. It's like people's gas going up.
Gas, electricity, lights.
Going up. Then they want to put a damn red camera on a damn red light, and guess what? Boom, boom, boom. You slap with a 150. It used to be $50 to $75. It's 150. Now it's going to go up to 175.
When it come down to it, as I've been since our last conversation, one of the things that I've in the past 2 years as a veteran coming back to the place I love, Chicago, and trying to get out and work in the community, understand the politics of how Chicago works. One of the things I said in the beginning of it, I was joking a little bit, but the money portion, it's about money, whether it's the city, whether it's a business, it's so many things that's involved with money. And as I move from one side to the other side, I moved to the south side. I love the south side. But what I don't like is going into those shopping areas. And I think something's there to go check out City Trends or something. And how many vacant places are there now?
A lot.
It's too many.
A lot. The stores are tired of it. Sales tax on this, sales tax on that, sales tax on everything. You buy a pair of underwear, it's a sales tax.
The bag, just to put it in the bag.
Tax. My broke glasses that I put Gorilla Glue on, it's taxed.
I can see the glue, y'all, but it's okay. We on the radio.
What I'm saying, no, you're not. You're on Facebook Live. What I'm saying, in essence, is everything is taxed. How can a senior survive? How can a person survive? A home, you got to purchase a home. Come home. You don't have to be bothered with nobody. But there's plumbing issues you got to fix. That's one.
That's real.
Also, you got to cut the grass because the city will find you or the village will find you. That's 2. 3, got to have the groceries. 4, got to have maintenance around the house. 5, you got to protect your house. 6, got to have the internet. Tax, 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 tax. Everything, even the gardeners, why they say, okay, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to say this. This is what somebody told me. I said, you can find some black gardeners around, and they said, oh no, I know there's some blacks out there, but they overcharge and they charge tax for cutting grass. But Perez and Son, they don't charge tax. Just charge me 50, senor. That's it.
Oh, you getting charged? You getting charged? Just charge. I'll charge 50. But is that, are you cash apping? You Zelling? Or you paying? Are
It
you
it
doing a
it
proper way
it
where
doesn't
basically it
it
gets
it
has
it,
to
it
leak out?
doesn't matter.
Hmm.
The reason is they go off of volumes of customers. We don't. We look at money instead of like, okay, if I can cut Mr. Morrow or Mr. Harding a break, 9 times out of 10, if I do a good job, he's gonna refer me to somebody.
It could work that way.
How in I don't know from the insurance industry.
I'm going because we on the other side of the court now. I'm just waiting for you to pass the ball. It, but and I think we was gonna take a left turn because the biggest thing as you're talking about is we talking about get to talk about black businesses, which is a whole separate conversation. But the number seven, you did up to six. The seven was, are you putting money to the side?
You can't.
But you can't. We say that you can't, and also we talking about the seniors too as well. And where I come in with the library tour, along with all my peers in the industry, no matter where they work, right? I'm independent. Is knowing where to put your money, how to grow your money, and you can't wait to you get into those years. You have to do it early. So we always say the the that person knows, the white community knows, they always knew this. This information is out here too. Now I got my license along with plenty other professionals, and now I'm seeing how it works. And now we try to come out and give the information. People have to be ready to wake up and receive the information. Intellectual radio is putting out so much information, but everyone has to be at that stage in life to receive it and act on it. So when it comes to the insurance, you didn't pass me the ball, right? We're looking at how all the athletes and the this let's stay over there with the politicians. How are they protecting their money? You got the stock market going up and down, up and down. What's the stock market backed up by insurance? What's the bank backed up by insurance? You ever heard of the insurance industry crashing? Like never, right? Banks crash, they get bailed out by insurance companies. You can put all your money in from all of the the yards you didn't cut that grass. But guess what? You can do all of that and keep it in the bank. You can have 300,000. That bank crash, they don't have enough. They got to pay me and you. Now, how the insurance side with the money side that I want to teach, because we know people are gonna die, just hopefully not too soon, right? If you put your money there, one is going to grow and not see any losses from the market. Most people we worry about, okay, I go to the bank and they turn me down because of my color or whatever it may be. But when you have your own personal private pension, you manage that. You in control of that. And we wait till we get to the end to start talking. Man, somebody asked me today, I got somebody that's 92. Can we get them life? No, you can't. It's too late in the game. I'm not. You probably can, but I'm not gonna sell it to you because it's not gonna be worth it. I'd rather sell it to that newborn baby and set them up where you have that money. Now we may say, "Hey, Donald Trump ain't pay no taxes. He not paying taxes," but I bet you got an insurance policy.
He finds the loophole.
The loophole,
The
tax
loophole.
code 7702A, Boom. You ain't got. If I sue Roman, if I sue you for something and you got your cash in your policy, I can't touch it. A lot of people that are getting divorced or going to court, and I want to tell a quick story to bring it home. People going to court say, put that child support in a life insurance policy because mom or dad knows it's going to grow. It's protected. When I talked about the learning how this city works money, there was a young lady, can't say the name, still working on it, and there was some type of uh, lawsuit that happened. There was a hospital that made a mistake with a child, and they actually won a court case, and they said, "Hey, we're going to put the money in a trust, and we're going to put the money in a insurance product." Now, the young lady saw my flyer for one of the events that we have coming up, and she was in the library to pull out a book to understand what it meant. Do you know this lady, when I came to her house, she didn't even know that she was a millionaire. She didn't know. She had no financial literacy knowledge at all, right?
But she sure got that money out.
She here's the catch, the catch 22. She don't have control of the money because the individuals that put it that helped her with that case, she won the case, they put it in control of the bank. They put her as a co-guardian, and she has no control of this money. That and I spoke to a lawyer. I said this they're taking advantage of this young lady who's elderly. She got the money. She received the money for the daughter, but this that's on disability now, to give a background. But with that, the city's taking the money. They're going to put that young lady in care, and guess what happens when it goes in care? They get the money. I partner with a funeral home, and then one thing I learned was there's a magic number, 17,500. So when you if you have to put your loved ones in senior care, that you do what you gotta do, because that's it's about responsibility. But if you don't have to, don't do it, because if once they go into that senior facility and they're cared for, they belong to the state. They got to give up every single asset that they have. Whether you had that house, you had that big bank account, and you need to do that between 5 to 7 years ago, right? Put it in a trust, and they're gonna check it. I could give you money today. They're gonna say, "Oh, you gave it to Roman. You didn't do it within this time frame. Spend it. Get rid of it." But you can't have enough. 17,500, and that's just enough. This should be enough to bury you, because we're going to take care of the rest. We're going to pay for your lights. I'm going to give you $70 a month so you can get some cigarettes, or some bubble gum, whatever you want. It's about
I,
the
kn-
money.
I,
It's
I
about
want
the
to know
money.
where you get $70 worth of bubble gum from. Um, cigarettes. Wow. That's something. There's a lot of questions and stuff like that to follow up on. I think more than likely, and this is just me, what's the point? What's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point? If I have insurance, I want it working for me,
Yes.
not working for somebody else.
Okay. Thanks. You passed the ball back to me again. Many of us are getting insurance through our employers, which is great, because the employers are they're buying that to get it to you at a cost, right? At the lowest cost. And to keep you working there too as well, right? So how can it work for you? And just like I have a partner that sold insurance, he did the LeBron James policy, right? Insurance policy. It was for Nike. Do you think that money was for LeBron, or you think it was for Nike? It was for Nike,
Nike.
right?
Just like rappers, I remember we discussed this the last time you was on, and I asked the question, some of these rap artists, and I'm just going to say it, some of these garage rap artists, the independent record companies that they're signing, they put them on a life insurance policy and they take control of their catalog. Nothing that grandmom can do or mom can do, especially if they're in the state custody. Am I wrong?
Putting like who's the my question, who's the beneficiary? Do you even know to ask that? Do we know to ask that question? Do we know to get these type of policies for ourselves? Now they're going to do that because that's how they build and generate wealth. What people don't know in the background to tell you why do they do that? That's the thing. Why are they doing that? So let's let's see that we see the game, but we got to understand the game. So part of that game is why I have Roman covered. I'm making money each let's say annually. I'm you know what, that guy over there, he lost money in the market, but I got this policy on Roman, and it's going to make me hypothetically 9.5%. Because the other guy, he lost probably about 12. He got to work his back way back to zero and do 2 to 3 times to make up for it. But I got money on you, right? And that's how this works. I'm making money, cash value off of you as a person. Now, can you do this yourself? Yes. Get you a policy. It's gonna have a death benefit, is what they call it. Now, if you pass away, cool. Boom. You 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 leave whatever behind, whatever your wishes were. While you're alive, this is the game that I'm spitting to everybody. While you're alive, you go out there and buy the cancer policy, stuff for diabetes and stuff, all of it. But you could have got one single policy with the right company, and it's you have a not you, someone has a cancer, stroke, or any of those, that insurance policy gonna pay you while you're alive. That way, while you still struggling with the eggs, the mortgage, the rent, whatever it is, you're gonna get that out of that policy.
I get it. What insurance does that? That's the thing. Because
Okay.
if you say, okay, Allstate does that. Well, I'm with Allstate. I didn't know that. What about State Farm? Do they
Nope.
do that?
No.
Okay, but what insurance company does that?
Okay. And I just have to tread lightly on this because
No, no
so
problem.
you want to you want a policy. I'm going to tell you about the companies. I'm going to highlight some. You want a policy that is cash value. Let's go. I'm going to tell you about the three. This is what we talk about in the tour. If you get a term policy, it needs to be convertible, and you at least at a minimum need to have, this is Cedric's rule. Everybody argue me on this. 100,000, 100,000 in coverage term. Let me tell you why. I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna give you the answer. If you have $100,000 policy, these investors that's out here, these banks, they'll buy it from you. You wind up getting to the point where, oh, I've got diagnosed with cancer. Let me go beat this. But the first thing you want to do, I might have to let this pot. Don't let it go. You either keep it or you see who's gonna buy it from you. So let's say you done paid $5,000 the whole time into the policy already. The term, I'm still on term. Then guess what? Well, let me give you a real number. Let's say you done paid $50,000 the whole span that you had it, and somebody come in and say, "I'll take that off your hands because you pay 50, I'll give you 60,000, and when you pass away, someone like you, then guess what? They're going to make 3 times what that costs." Now, the cash value part of that is it's gonna also include something called living benefits. So if you can't do 2 out of 6 daily activities of living, somebody got to dress you. You think about your thing, people you had to take care of those seniors, dressing them. You had heart attack, stroke, cancer, burns. They'll pay you that you'll have money from that policy. Then the other one is, so with the cash value, what companies to give you those? You have companies like Mutual Omaha. You have companies. One that I offer is called Foresters. Foresters is a fraternal company that helps nonprofits too. If you're a member, and they had the living benefits. They get grants and scholarships for the kids, but how much money do they make you? That's not your go-to company for money. That's your go-to company for benefits. There's a company, a lot of agents in Chicago, they offer National Life Group. They focus on living benefits and they focus on cash. So when you go to the career companies that's on TV, messing with Jake. I ain't saying their name. Y'all know who Jake was part of.
State Farm.
Okay, you said, not me. All right. So with that, their focus is auto. Their focus is home. They're not in they do life insurance, but the they don't do extensive cash value type things. That's not their niche. That's like, I saw a joke where, do you go to a pizza place and order a salad? That ain't the best place to get your salad. So if you go to a company, you gotta go to a company that specializes in that, right? So I'm gonna say this, and it's probably not the right place, right? But I want to give a little bit of history because I realize I love history. And not to do cancel culture or anything like that. It was a friend of mine out of Tennessee, and he loves history, and he shared something with me. And so think about slavery, right? Go back to slavery days. I was having this conversation. This is my thoughts. Roman had said, Cedric said it. So back at that time, there were only just about five insurance carriers that actually covered slaves, right? And you were thinking, like, looking at what's going on today and looking at the past, I feel like the same thing is almost trying to happen. But we're strong now. And at that point of time, you think about we used to joke of, not joke really, I don't, about people being in the house. You had the healthy African Americans that were really strong. Guess what? They had slaves that they had to keep healthy because they put insurance policies on them. The insurance, I keep you alive, I feed you, I take care of you, I got cash going. And then if the insurance company not just gonna you give me $50 and I'll give you $1 million. Where they do that at? No, you have to, okay, let me make sure that you're healthy. All right. Okay. All right. Now you're gonna keep paying it. Your money's growing. Companies are making 5 to 10 times what you're paying. Right. Now you get a chance to tap into that, your personal private pension. And that's why most of those slave owners will put in insurance on those slaves to make money too as well. So this has been going on for a long period of time. That's why I said I like history. I started looking up some of those companies too as well. So
All right. We're going to put a bubble in that.
mhm.
And when we come back, we will have another guest, Leanne Rogers, I believe. Yeah, she's going to be here talking about her organization, and you going to feed her some information on insurance.
Okay,
All
sound like a
right.
plan.
Thank you so much. We will be right back after this. And we're back on the Drive at 5 on the intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station. A short break there. And we have a guest to join in the conversation. She has a not-for-profit organization, and she's no stranger to the Drive at 5. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Chicago Drive at 5. I'm Larry Ann Aaron.
To the mic, please.
Hi, Chicago Drive at 5. This is Larry Ann Aaron. Thanks for having me, Ron.
No problem. So tell people about your organization and how people can help and assist your organization.
My organization is Black Women in Solidarity. We are a non-for-profit local to Chicagoland and surrounding areas. Our focus is on being a support system and resources for minority women and women of color. Whatever avenue, whether it's political advocacy, business support, resources, we are available.
Now, tell us the inspiration about the organization.
Be Wise, which is short for Black Women in Solidarity, was started in 2021. We started back in 2021 with a lavish lunch and love women's conference, and we were motivated to do that to bring women together in efforts to rally around solidarity amongst Black women. The motivation was because I've been around the not-for-profit sector for quite some time, and I felt like complete attentiveness to the needs and issues around Black women and the advocacy thereof was a little lacking. So that is the why.
To add you back into the conversation, Cedric does insurance, and he's almost like a guru of insurance.
Pardon me.
You mentioned something that was key with one of the companies. If I'm a Black owned and operated not-for-profit organization, you need insurance.
Yes.
What insurance would you recommend her? She deals with women down on their luck. And also, you said there's insurance that's nothing but benefits that she can get grants and stuff. How you can help a sister like her?
Well, definitely for yourself and all the young women and men that are out there, it's always a case by case basis. So the first thing that instead of taking an approach of just talking about the life insurance side, I'm gonna start with the health. That's the number one thing that most are in need of is good health coverage too as well. Along with that, those that have a nonprofit, then there's that's the way to kind of tap into getting the support that's needed for that. A lot of benefits come from the health insurance side and several other things that's out there. So
I definitely I think non-for-profit sector and the religious sectors are great outlets to channel that messaging because we have influx of people intake or seeking resources, and they are often not steered into that direction, and it is much needed. I have delved in the life insurance sector, so I am fully apprised on the industry and the lack of coverage within our communities.
yep. And one other thing to add is when it comes down to for everyone, it's the financial side of that of understanding having a financial literacy. So when we are down and out, understanding how to get back up and understanding, my budget and doing what it takes where my money can grow and putting it in the right places. So it can grow other than you just having just one source of income coming in. We need multiple sources of income nowadays.
How does that work in a not-for-profit organization? Multiple sources of income. Women is working. You have single mothers. You have single dads. They're working, and it's not enough to come in because of one word that starts with a T. Another word starts with a B. Taxes and bills.
Mhm. I think given the financial constraints within the non-for-profit sector, resources are already limited. Often what happens is coverage like the additional perks and amenities like insurance may not be a part of the employment packages for people who are in the non-for-profit sector. So they would find themselves probably more challenged than, say, working at a Pepsi or working at a bigger organization because the resources are limited. And also, most often than not, they are restricted to certain ways to which they can be allocated, and affordability of additional perks like insurance and other things fall by the wayside.
Want to add?
That's one of those. There's so many. There's a lot of programs in just Chicago alone, but there's a lot of programs we just don't know about, right?
Can you give us an example?
I'll give okay. I'll give an example of a couple shows ago. Someone talked, and I'll be short. A couple shows ago, someone talked about GoFundMe. A lot of people say, "Hey, I don't like GoFundMe," and I had to come to the fact of don't blame the person that had the GoFundMe that put it up. It's the person that left it behind. So with that, victims of violent crimes, right? There's a lot of our youth and just individuals that pass away due to violent crimes in Chicago. And working with my partner from IJ Cannon Funeral Home, Mr. Cannon, the funeral director, I asked him a question. He was looking for something one day, and he says, "Hey, have you heard of victims of violent crimes?" I said, "What is that?" That's where the state the attorney general has money put to the side to pay for these victims, these funerals, and you can either get you can look it up on a state website. You get reimbursed or pay for that. Those are programs that's out there. There are nonprofits that help assist with that. But think about those GoFundMe's of people that just didn't know it and that haven't went back and claimed any of those things. That's the one example.
You are located on the west side, and your people, the people you service, is all over. Tell us a little bit about that.
And to what extent? To what extent?
How you service them.
Oh, well, one of the ways that we service is through parent mentorship, which we facilitate that in the western suburbs, parent mentorship program within the school district 88. On the west side, we do giveaways, um, particularly in the Austin community. We give away goods that we are able to obtain from Good 360 and the gosh, what is the not World Vision. Through relationships with them, we give out donations to people free on the west side once a month on a Wednesday. We help people who are looking to find outlets to grow and market their business and products by way of the Be Wise Business Boutique, which is aimed at helping women who aspire to start businesses or grow their businesses. So we help them with the groundwork of how to legitimately establish that. And that's some of the ways that we are putting our boots on the ground. No pun intended.
Oh, don't get me started with that boots on the ground. Please don't.
No pun intended.
Don't get me started. It's one of those things. If you can afford these Korean and Japanese fans and go crack, where my boots at? Crack. It's like, where my fans at? Crack. Why you can't get insurance, life insurance? A number one song. Number one song. People need help, but they are making this guy a millionaire. He's doing a tour with one song. I'm sorry.
I think the problem with why people don't get insurance, because I mean, like I said, I dwelled in it for a little bit, and I found it very challenging, even to educate. my own circle of friends and family, and that's not by because I'm not able to articulate the needs by any stretch of the imagination. It is because people simply are not able to apply the necessity in real time or in futuristic terms. They're not able to get the information and aptly apply it to their lives because people are so well, what can it do for me now? And I think we have to have the messaging where aspiring to receive something now, it has got us lacking in the now. Because had we aspired to see something in the future, we would not be lacking now. So we need to start thinking about the future now, which is a folly that got us to where we are now, not thinking about the future in the past. So I think how we educate people on the real tangible benefits. I know at one point New York Life did a big campaign. They were trying to solicit, I think, 1 million new um, policies, and they succeeded. I'm not particularly sure. I know it was Black centric. The messaging was Black centric, and they succeeded in getting all of those policies. So it's how we are communicating, how we are assessing the needs of our community in real time and in future times. Like the ability to borrow against a life insurance policy. Lots of people aren't aware. Yeah, it may take you 5 years for that to be available to you, but in 5 years, that you may be ready to buy a new car. You may be ready to purchase your new first home. So the future doesn't always have to be after your demise. It could be in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's how we educate them.
We all I know is me and her gonna be having a conversation after this. Or look, how can we work together? Yeah, and that was perfect what you said. I'm just over
Thank
here
you.
smiling. The biggest thing is I ask a question when I sit down with clients. I say, "When do you want to retire?"
Where my fans at?
The fans ain't gonna get you retired,
That's what I've been saying to people.
man. When do you want to retire? If you think about it, you look at the family growing up, and now we thought, oh, 65, 70, 80. I'm 44 years old, an Army veteran. I'm retired right now, right? And as an older gentleman, he told me you should retire at least 3 or 4 times by the time you hit 65.
Mhm.
But he did it, and he told me how. He said, "Hey, have you some investments, have some real estate, have your money protected, and just and find some careers and finish those." But one of the things that I want to point out that you said is planning for the future. If you lock it in now, I'm 44. What do I have to do before I hit 65? Hoping that I make it that long, right? A lot of the men that I talk to, I'm not gonna live that long, brother. No, we can't think like that. A lot of people want you to live for a long period of time, but you got to think, plan for the future. If most people plan for the 15 years ago, the conversation that we having now, some of them people, some of those individuals, these terrorists won't be hitting as hard as they hit it now. We hope it's gonna be some damage done with this right here. And hopefully we can as an economy, we can recover as a people, we recover from that. But yeah, planning for the future.
My question for you: you represent the not-for-profit sector. What is the plan? Trump is hurting not-for-profit organizations. Any thoughts? How people can help? My thought, personally, is to go to the gravesite, dig up Lou Ross, and let's have a telethon. That's the same for the historically black colleges and university.
I think that would be a welcome sight to see. So I know you being funny, but it actually would be a welcome sight to see on a world stage a unified agenda and a targeted focus, within the Black community. Um, as far as what's happening in the non-for-profit sector, it's always been a challenge, especially for smaller organizations such as BYs. There are the best thing that non-for-profits who are blessed enough to have ample resources to actually do the darn work, to give people tangible help. Spend the money according to the community you're supposed to spend it in and serve the people. So many times people get huge allocations of funding and they do the bare minimum. 20% of allocated funding may actually serve the community. So spend the money appropriately. That's the best thing you can do to help your organization continue to thrive and continue to have funding allocated, and to help the smaller organizations have a chance to have funding allocated. Real results. Because the scrutiny within government now, and not that I am a Trumper or supporting any of their shenanigans, but the window was open by misappropriations within these organizations, which is why there's so much scrutiny as to taking money and abusive funding. Just spend the money, do right. If you're not in it to be a true resource and ally for the people, just get out of it and do something where you can profit and stop hurting the other non-for-profit industries.
Well, it comes to the close. Thank you guys for coming on the Drive at 5. Please give intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station where they can get your information and get in contact with you, starting with you.
Yes. So for those that came on, my name is Cedric Harding. I am the founder of Legacy Smart Group. You can find my website at Legacy Smart Group financialsolutions.com, 224-407-4888. I am text friendly. I do individual meetings. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Larry Ann Aaron from blackwomenInSolidarity.org. You can find us at bwiser.org, bwiser.org. And also we have the Protect Black Women and Girls rally coming up again this year, year 2, September 6th. So be on the lookout for information regarding that.
All right. Well, don't be a stranger to the Drive at 5. That's going to do it for us on this Monday evening. Thanks to Wanda, our executive producer, Earl behind the scenes. You guys have a wonderful week.